Hey Amy, how's it going? Power's out. I'm fixing to go outside. I'm on a generator right now, and I was just trying to get a little bit of charge on my pad because this is like day two for the power being out. So the lighting's fixing to improve dramatically here. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Yeah. So how's it going? How's the dieting going? How's life going? Everything here is going okay, except for the power being out. Oh my God. I'm on my like fourth tank of gas in the generator. They're saying that it's going to be on by 5 o'clock, but I don't think it will be. Yeah, we had a terrible rainstorm up here yesterday, and it knocked some trees over on the lines and took the lines out, and so we've been out of power now for about 25 hours, maybe a little longer. And they're saying by 5 it's going to be fixed. But Mary and I went down to get gas, and it didn't even, there was nobody even working on it. So for them saying it's going to be fixed by 5, I don't know. Lines were in a hell of a mess. You know, somebody had like cut part of the tree off of it to get it out of the road, and then they just put cones around stuff. And so it's like a tangled mess on the side of the mountain. So I don't know what they're going to do. But anyway, so I went down. I got about 8 gallons of gas. The generator will hold about 2.5, 3 gallons. So that'll give me enough that for some reason, if I have to keep it running until tomorrow morning, then I can do that. Hey, Tyre, how's it going? So the generator has me going. That's the bad thing up here in the country is when the power goes out, well, our phone service goes out, our cell service goes out, usually the internet's out. I'm very surprised that the internet is up, but when my generator hooked up, for some reason, I am getting a Wi-Fi signal, so I figured, what the hell, I'll take advantage of it for a little bit and see if I could scope to pass the time. Because in about an hour, I'm going to cut it off for a couple of hours and let the generator cool down, and everything will be cold, so it'll be okay. So if for some reason I just go off without warning, you'll know that the generator must have quit or something like that. But anyway, how's it going, Shinzad? Where are you from? So anyway, sitting up here, just enjoying the nice breeze on the porch. It is in the mid-80s out in the sun, but up here on the porch with the wind blowing, it's not too terrible bad. It's actually pretty comfortable. It's pretty comfortable. So, it's just for the matter of the fact of all the stuff we got in the freezer. That, oh my God, it's the main reason we got to keep everything going. And to keep the house a little bit cool so it doesn't like humidify up. So on the generator, I have the freezer, the 2 refrigerators, 1 outlet in the house so that I can have the cable plugged in, and have an outlet for like a lamp, so we're not in total darkness. And then the air conditioner heater. So no matter how cold, how hot it gets, if the generator's hooked up, we can at least have air and heat. So that's the basics of what's going on. Everything else is pretty much off right now, and that's the way it goes. Got to expect a little of this sometimes when you live in the country. So I am drinking tea today, unsweetened iced tea, which I am going to admit took a little bit of getting used to, because all my life I've drank sweet tea. I mean, when I made it myself, boy, I put like a cup or a cup and a half for a gallon. So I mean, I was like really sugar addicted there. And but now I'm drinking it unsweetened. And, I don't miss the sugar now, but there for a little while it was like a big adjustment to get used to having, just the tea. And, I don't add any sugar to the coffee now at all. I used to add sugar to like the first cup and then keep adding, but now I don't even put sugar in the coffee at all either. So that right there saves me an enormous amount of sugar that I was eating. Oh my goodness. So what's going on out there? Anything? Anything at all? In the regular world? Because up here where I'm at, I wouldn't know if the world came to an end, to be honest with you. I wouldn't know at all what was going on. No? Okay. Well, I don't have music because I now have my phone plugged in trying to charge. And because I can have one other device plugged in. And so that was my pad to charge for a while. And now it's my phone to charge for a while. And so to be outside rather than to be in the dark house, I have to forego the music today. So, oh well. So anyway, I don't know if they're going to have the power fixed or not. We'll see. We'll see. Well, I don't know. Is anybody here? It says I have one person here, but it doesn't show me who they are. And I know Amy was in for a minute, but I don't know if she's still in or if she can't get in anymore. Maybe I'm not even live. I don't know. Maybe I only think I'm broadcasting and I'm not. Am I broadcasting? Say something to me. Well, anyway, I'll ramble on for a minute. Maybe somebody will come in and say something to me and let me know whether or not I'm on. If not, I'll just be talking to myself, I guess. So the garden's coming along. We got I think one of the things that grew up on its own last year has got to be a pumpkin plant, because the vine on it is tremendous. And I don't think I've ever had vines that long on a squash or a zucchini. So I think somehow some pumpkin just grew on its own. I hope so, because I didn't buy any pumpkins this year, and I would like to have a small little batch, because every year we give the girls, the granddaughters, a little pumpkin for their own little pumpkin for Halloween. Hey, have you been able to be on? Am I on? Am I live? Are you having trouble staying with me? What's going on? You're joining, but then you're going away, and then you're joining again. Are you having difficulties? Or is it difficulties on my end? I hate it if it's difficulties on my end. Katie called. Oh, okay. How's she doing? She lawyering up still? Getting all that law stuff in? Who knows? Me and you might know a politician one day, right? Maybe they can do something for us personally. And lots of medical stuff. Oh, man, sorry to hear that. Maybe some politician, if we know them, would do something for us, because all the others aren't doing anything for us right now. every member of Congress, I mean the House and the Senate, should be fired. They should be fired. I mean, it's just that simple. You know, they can do whatever they want to do about Trump, but that don't mean you quit doing other stuff. You know, that's what's pissing me off about it. I don't care what they do about Trump. They can carry on with their impeachment. You know, they can not carry on with their impeachment. You know, I don't really care. What I do care about is that they've stopped doing anything because of it. I mean, you know, we got all this stuff with immigration going on. We got all this stuff with, you know, bad roads, bad highways, people trying to bust people that are legally have medical cards for marijuana. Oh my God, states just in an uproar about that. By the way, talking about weed for just a moment, I noticed that that meth is used in some ADHD medicines, and it's a Category 2 drug. It's actually listed lower on the drug scale than marijuana is. And I'm going, what the fuck, you know? So marijuana is more dangerous than meth? I don't think so. But, you know, it's my personal opinion, and of course other people are entitled to theirs. Hey, Gerald, whoever it was, Girth Seaperd. I hope you're still with me. Tell me where you're from if you are. So yeah, I noticed that. Was reading a little article about that, and you know, we really got some problems with immigration. I don't know if you heard about it, but there was some people from Africa, London, cool. Some people from Africa that tried to sneak in these giant snails in their luggage with some fucking fruits and vegetables that are like on the no-no list. And you know, the United States, last time these snails from Africa got in the United States, it took like $40 million and 10 years to eradicate them. And now somebody just wants to bring them back in their luggage. Hey, NJ, how's it going? So, you know, that like drives me crazy. So if those guys are trying to bring giant snails in their suitcase, what the fuck you think all of these people just walking across the border are bringing in? You know? What do you think they're bringing in? If somebody's bold enough to try to bring giant snails, fruits and vegetables in their suitcase, then imagine what people just walking across the border are bringing in. Aside from that, think of how they haven't been vaccinated and stuff like that. And people that come into the country, you know, the anti-vaxxers, oh, they're going to have a fucking fit here in about a year. Because some of these people bound to bring in some diseases that that their kids haven't been vaccinated against, and then they're gonna like have a fit for that. Hey, baby, are you still at lunch, or are you gone off now? Mary went down for lunch. I stayed up here to run the power, and then turned it off, and then turned it back on. She already gone? Okay. I didn't know, because I had to let my, I meant to be on earlier, but my pad, the charge on it was so low, that I had to let it charge a while before I could scope. Yeah, gonna happen whether they're flying or walking. Yeah, that's true. Hey, last person just came in. Shimofo, how's it going, and where are you from? But, I mean, you know, and I don't want to sound insensitive, because I realize that, United States has got a good thing going on, and many of these countries got a bad thing going on, and, they want to come here. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be cold-hearted, but, we can only handle so much. We can only handle so much. It's intentions and ability to do are two different things. And some of our people in Congress, like Bernie Sanders and some of these others, haven't seemed to grasp that basic economic principle. We can only do so much. We may want to do more, but it's just like, it's just like you at home with your personal budget. You may want a Lincoln Town Car, and you might feel like you're entitled to a Lincoln Town Car. But your income says you're gonna be doing good if you get a used pickup truck. So your intentions and your ability to do are two different things. Hey, I don't know how you would pronounce that. Hey, H.B. Pickard, glad to see you in. So we got London, we got Georgia, we got Minnesota, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all in the house today. So yay. And like I say, I don't know how long I'm going to be on. My battery might go out, or the generator might run out of gas. If the generator don't run out of gas in the next hour, I'm going to cut it off anyway. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I feel for them. I really do. And, I know that it's hard. It's not a yes or no question. It's not I'm not against immigration. I am against droves and droves and droves of people coming here. Well, they're still saying 5 o'clock, I think, but I don't know that anybody's working on it, babe. So, I understand. But when Bernie says, oh, yeah, we want to give everybody free health care, even immigrants that come into the country, you think that's going to slow things down? Yeah, but you got to look at this. Canada's population is 1/10 that of the United States. Their entire population is 1/10. Okay? And they're like the second largest landmass country in the world. Our cities are already crowded. It's not a matter of room. It's a matter of economics, dude. It's a matter of economics. Think about your household. You live in a 4-bedroom house. You could probably squeeze in 8 people. But suppose you got to feed those other 4 people on the same income that you had for 4 people. And then somebody decides, oh, we're going to move 4 more people in on you because you got a couch and you got room on the floor and all of this other stuff, but you're not going to get any more money. Now you've got 12 people in a 4-bedroom house. And yeah, if they're legal, but here's the problem. They're talking about giving them money. By giving them health care, by giving them a starter package, by giving them welfare, by taking care of their kids, by, just the money to put those kids in school. Oh my God. You're talking about now you got to hire additional language teachers. You've got to, It's not a simple problem. It's just not a simple problem. Well, we have limited resources. It's not like we're a country of unlimited resources. I mean, we got a homeless problem already. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of homeless people in this country. Right. Some of those kids will be special needs. And even if they're smart kids, Amy, even if they're smart kids, they're still not going to all know how to speak English. Yes, they're still going to need ESOL services. They're still going to tax the system until they learn English and can come out of that class. And that's like 2 or 3 years. They are things. No, they may not be a thing in 20 years. I can't think about 20 years from now. Because, see, they might bust the system. They might bust the system and there be no system anymore. That would be great if they grew up to cure cancer. But the thing is, like I said, take your house. One of those kids, you're having to take care of them. 12 kids in a 4-bedroom house on your income only. See, you might want to send them to college, but you're not going to have the money, no matter how smart they are. You might want to give them health care, but you're not going to have the money. People are forgetting the basic economics. Yeah, you can't take... That's true. All right, baby. Take your time, because like I say, there's no power still. Pokemon or something and just chill out. Okay. Is it something you can tell me on here or something you need to text me? Really? Look at the streets of France right now and tell me immigration is a boom for them. Yeah, I've sent 3 to college. I've sent 3 to college, and guess what? How's it fair to me if they do bailouts for everybody that hasn't paid their student debts when, you know, some kids have gone through college without debt and other kids, their parents have paid, you know, and all of that, and other kids that their parents didn't help them, they had their own student loans and they've already paid them back. You know, fuck that. We need to just realize that college is not for everyone. Some people need to go to trade school. Some people just need to learn to be happy being a fucking ditch digger, a sanitation worker, you know, and forget this stuff of everybody's got to go to college. It's not a right to go to college. Just like it's not a right to have health care. I'm sorry, Bernie Sanders. It is not a basic human right to have health care. That is the fucking reason you work and try to get a better life for yourself, is so you can have health care. You know? It's not a human right. What are human rights? You ready? Here's your human rights. The right to go out and make your life better. That is about the only human right there is. Hey, Holler Moller, how's it going? Yeah, okay. So how's that fair to you? You earn too much, so you have to pay. But somebody that's new to your country, that's an immigrant, oh, they're not established yet, so we're going to pay for them to go to college. It's not fair, you're right. Oh dear. Okay, I'm listening. I'm looking, baby, but I won't respond. Okay. I guess I better go get my phone so I can text to her real quick. So you guys are going to go into the dark. Let me go in and get my phone. Hang on, girl. I'm coming right back out. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy the fact that, some people think they're just entitled to this shit. They're not entitled to anything. The only thing you're entitled to is to breathe. You're not even entitled to food. You got to go out there and fucking earn it. You know what I mean? So all of these people talking about you're entitled to it and basic human rights, they just got it all wrong. They just got it all wrong. Whew. So anyway, what's going on with everybody else out there rather than me bitching about the power being off and all of that kind of stuff? So anyway, somebody talk to me. Tell me what's going on so I know I'm still alive. I mean, it helps pass the time a little bit if somebody's talking with me. Sorry, I'm having to do this real quick. So anyway, what else is going on out there other than me griping about stuff? So what else is going on in London? So what are you guys doing with all the immigrants? Are you like happy to see all the immigrants come? I don't think the people in Paris are all of a sudden so happy to see all these immigrants anymore, because they're like all over the main town. I mean, the tourists can't even walk down the place. Well, HB Picker, what's going on with you? How's the weather there? We've been without power here for about 24 hours. You're in your pool? Came in from a break for the sun. Oh, wow. Must be nice, NJ, to have a pool. I don't have a pool. I guess I could go up to the lake, but, with the power out, it's like, I don't really want to go off because I got to keep everything cold. So, like run the generator for like 3 hours and then shut it off for 2 to 3 hours. And then shut it back on for 2 or 3 hours and then shut it back off. Yeah, it's about, out there in the sun, it's about 80. Hey, how's it going, Mr. G? How's it going? I'm out here 25 years kids went through, now grandkids using it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, you just enjoy it. Have a big, long, healthy one. Sorry to hear that, dude. Maybe if you didn't eat the wrong shit, like too much sugar. We had a storm the other day. We had a storm the other day, and it knocked out the power. So we've been without power for we've been without power for like 25, 26 hours, and you know, that kind of thing. Well, they say that they're going to have it back on by 5, but I don't believe it. Because when I went to get gas today, Mary went with me, we got gas. They weren't even working on it. They just had a cone around it. And it's like there's a power pole down, and the lines are off of like 3 other poles. So, I mean, and we're talking about all of the lines. Hey, Pike, how's it going? Sorry to be rude here, but Mary had a couple of things to tell me, and so I needed to take care of that. So anyway, yeah, we're like no power at all, and it's a good thing I got a generator. So I mean, no, without a generator, I would really be messed up, because I mean, we've got hundreds of dollars of meat in the freezer. And in the refrigerator. I mean, I got like 2 or 3 hams, and, you know, like half a dozen steaks, a dozen pork chops, and, you know, 20 pounds of hamburger and all this other stuff. That's why you have a generator, so that if the power does go out, that stuff don't go bad, you know. Anyway, we were fussing about the immigrants. And there was, of course, somebody saying we'd be glad we had all those immigrants in 20 years. Well, fuck, I may not be here in 20 years, so I may not be glad. I mean, I'm already 65. And put me at 85. At 85, I'm going to be glad that there was immigrants 20 years ago? Probably not. Probably not. You know, when I know that the country is not taking care of the vets, we're not taking care of our own homeless situation. I mean, you look at Seattle, you look at Chicago, you look at Atlanta, you look at San Francisco, you know, you look at some of these other cities. There's thousands of people living on the streets, and a lot of them are children. So, I mean, you know, we're not even using our resources to take care of our own people. And our Congress wants to take care of everybody else's people in the world? What's up with that? When did it become discriminatory to take care of yourself? When did it become a bad thing to look after your own people? I mean, we're not even looking after our own people. Yeah, the generator has the 2 refrigerators, the freezer, 1 outlet upstairs, and the air conditioner furnace on it. So no matter how hot it gets, we still got air, as long as the generator's running. And, you know, the refrigerator and everything's up. Oh yeah, ha ha. No, that's like make me a burger. Boom, you're a burger. Okay. Yeah, refrigerator's running. No, it is operating as it should because it's on a generator. If we have to be picky with words. But, you know, every person in the Senate, every fucking one of them should be fired. Do not vote for an incumbent. Japan has not let people in for decades. Decades. You know, they've not let anybody in for decades. And yes, they're a small island, and yes, they're already overpopulated, but they haven't let anybody in for decades. New Zealand. Oh my God, you go spend your tourist dollars there, but don't think you're just going to move into the country. Same thing with Australia. You know, you think you're just going to, I'm going to take a plane trip to Australia and then I'm going to just live there for the rest of my life. Fuck no, you're not, because they have laws against that shit. You don't just drop yourself off in their country and then boom, you're there forever and they're going to take care of you. You know, like people seem to think that the United States should do. But the United States is trillions of dollars in debt. Our resources are limited, and yet people want to come here. Yeah, but everyone can just come here, and we're supposed to take care of them. Even though we're trillions of dollars in debt and don't have the resources to take care of our own. Yeah, right. You know, maybe we could use that. You know, maybe we could use that excuse. You think that would fly? Fuck no. It wouldn't fly. There's no telling what's being brought across the border. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying kill all immigrants or anything. But I am saying something better than what we're doing needs to be done. Yeah, I worked 40 years too. I worked 50 years. I worked 50 years. You know, I'm not asking people to give me benefits. Fuck that shit. I worked those years for that. And if the government hadn't been taking taxes out on me all this time and Social Security, and I knew they weren't doing it, then I'd have had to put money to the side for myself, which I did anyway. Okay? Plus, I have a job, retirement. I worked for the federal government for a while. I have a little bit of retirement. I have Social Security. You know, I have investments. Hi, Susie, how's it going? So, I mean, I am by no means poor, but, you know, I'm not wealthy either. I'm just like, you know, surviving. No emergency comes along, I'm good. Emergencies come along, things got to be shifted. But, you know, so, I mean, it's not like I'm going to die or anything, but still. So, I mean, we did what we were supposed to do. We worked. We played the system like we were supposed to play. Sorry, everything's all right in Susie Land, good. It's going to hit the fan eventually. Well, like I say, you heard about the guys from Africa bringing the giant snails in, right? And the government had spent like 10 years and $40 million eradicating them because they're like one of the most dangerous species on the planet. Well, you know, that was caught. But all of these people coming across now bringing shit, we don't know what they're bringing. They could be bringing the next superbug of fleas. You know, the next superbug of roaches. ants, termites. There's no telling what they're bringing, you know. A lot of them haven't been vaccinated. Hell, they may be bringing Ebola in. They may be bringing some of these other things in. And like I say, when all of a sudden we have some outbreaks of disease, that's when people are going to get concerned. When it gets to where it's going to start affecting them, oh my God. And you're the bad guy if you quarantine them. You know, you're the bad guy if you quarantine them, but yet they're coming in with Ebola. That is so crazy. But you know, there's all these people that are anti-vaxxers. Just think what's going to happen in about, I'm going to predict less than 5 years. In less than 5 years, I'm going to predict that in less than 5 years, we're going to have some major virus spreads that have been practically unknown in the United States for decades. We're going to have pandemics, yes, Pike. We're going to have pandemics because of this. And like I say, I don't mean to sound insensitive. Really, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. If you're not doing, and this is why I say everybody in Congress should be fired. Because even if they're against it, they're not saying anything because they're afraid they're going to be jumped on by all of those that are like, oh yeah, let everybody come in. And so they're guilty by omission. They're guilty by omission. So that makes them just as bad or more hypocritical than the ones that are saying, yeah, let them come in. In my mind, it makes them just as bad or worse. Because if they truly believe that we shouldn't let, if they truly believe that they shouldn't be coming and they're not saying anything, they are hypocrites, scaredy cats, cowards that do not need to be representing the American people. I mean, it's that simple. That part of it, of the whole problem, that part of it is that simple. If you're not convinced and convicted of things, you shouldn't be in office. If you're not convinced and convicted that you are serving your people to the best of your ability, you shouldn't be there. You just shouldn't be there. If you're there thinking about what is it going to profit me before you think about how is it going to help my people, you shouldn't be there. And that's why I'm for term limits for Congress. I mean, for House and Senate, I'm for term limits, and I always have been. Well, you know, I know that people want to over broadcast the criminal element, and I'm sure that a lot of the people are not criminals. But you know what? We still can't help everyone. We still can't help everyone. You know? And I do. I feel for them. But, and there's the thing, but we live in a limited system. And people like Bernie Sanders have not seemed to realize that we live in a limited system. you know, I think we ought to build a fucking 50-foot wall and put spikes on the other side that like randomly go out. So that anybody that's like building anything or trying to climb or trying to scale, it's knocks them off. Or maybe like in Game of Thrones on the ice wall before they like tore it down, where, you know, they had this great big thing that came down and like swept the side of the wall like a pendulum. Maybe a couple of those. Hey, BS Reva, I'm without power, complaining about shit today. You know, and like I say, first thing is we need to fire all of the fucking representatives in Congress. And we need to elect somebody that's going to actually be for the people. You know, because the government right now is not for the people. It's not. If it was for the people, then the vets wouldn't be in the situation they're in. There wouldn't be the homeless situation that we already have if the government was for the people. If the government was for the people, you know, they would do something. We already spend millions of dollars helping other countries out. We are in debt, trillions of dollars, but yet we spend millions of dollars helping other countries out. You know, when are we going to wake up? That's like, let me give you a personal analogy. When Mary and I were first married, we thought we had to buy everybody Christmas presents. And God Almighty, we spent a massive amount of money making sure that we got everybody Christmas presents. And we realized, it didn't take us but like 1 or 2 years to realize we are going broke buying other people's shit. And we're not getting anything, or if we're getting it, we're getting something, we're getting shit in return. So, you know, we realized we can't buy for everyone. And so then we just started buying for like parents, siblings, and their kids. Then eventually, we even cut that out. And we started buying for kids and parents. Brothers and sisters had to go the way, you know, because when they had like, and even their kids had to go the way when they started having kids. Because guess what? Every one of those kids makes more money than I make. So buying for the niece, you know, the great niece or nephew, buying for the grandkids, you know, that's understandable. You know, and to be honest with you, we give stuff to the kids too, but, you know, but we cut out everybody else because guess what? Our income is limited. Well, that's the way the United States is. The United States has got to learn their income is limited and they can't do everything they want to do. You know, I might want to go out and eat a steak every night, but guess what? I know I can't do it, so I'm not even going to try. You know, I know that I don't have the money for that. I know that if I buy a package of steaks, I can have steaks I can have 3 steaks here at the house for the cost of 1 steak out. You know, so I use my money a little bit better. That's what the government has got to start doing. Using its money a little bit better. Using its money better, rather than how they're using it now. Using their money better. And the first thing that means is you can't take care of everybody. You know, let's think back on history. How many of you remember that after World War II, the United States financed for Japan to get back on its feet, financed for the UK, France, Germany to get back on their feet? How many of those countries do you think repaid the United States? And here's the thing. They already owed us money from World War I helping them rebuild, even though we were in really bad shape ourselves. Oh God, yes. We helped Germany remobilize after the war. Because see, after World War I, the United States had figured out if we do nothing, they go into a depression, and then that causes us to go into a depression. So in order to keep from having another Great Depression, you know, we like loaned and gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to Europe. You think those fools ever paid us back? Fuck no. No. Do you think that the UK made Germany pay them back? Fuck yeah. You think Germany paid us back? Fuck no. Not only did they not pay us back, we gave them more money to help them rebuild. So, I mean, you know, I guess that's why everyone thinks that the United States has unlimited resources. Oh yeah, they've always acted better than us. But I guess that's why everybody thinks that the United States is unlimited. Because after World War I, World War II, we literally gave away hundreds of thousands of dollars. And because of the Cold War and then even after that, we've given financial aid to countries to try to help keep them democracies instead of keep having them turn into communist countries. You know, we've given millions and millions of dollars in financial aid to other countries. Do you think any of those countries are paying us back? No. But, and here's a little known fact, y'all. If China ever calls our debt in, because see, some of those trillions of dollars we owe to China. Some of our national state parks and forests are put up as collateral. So China could very easily say, we're just going to take this thing that's up for collateral. And then we could have a Chinese base right there in the middle of Yosemite National Park. Yes, really, Pike. You go search it out, and you'll find out that part of our debt is secured with federal land. Pissed me off when I found out about it. I mean, what the fuck? You're practically going to give our country to someone else. You know, and that's what we're doing. We're giving our country away. So the person that says in 20 years, in 20 years that I'll be glad for all these immigrants, well, probably not, because at the rate we're giving shit away, there may not be any country here anymore. You know, Canada has been talking about, Quebec has been talking about breaking away from the rest of Canada for years. Well, California's sometimes fussing about it already. You know, of course, for us people that's from the Midwest East, we probably would be better off if California did go their own way. But anyway, so, but, you know, in 20 years, there's no telling, I mean, no, I don't think we're going to last as long as the Roman Empire lasted. I mean, you have to remember that the Roman Empire, in one form or another, lasted like 800 years. United States, we haven't even made 3 yet. So, I mean, you know, something to think about. How did they go bad? Yeah. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm going to have to shortly turn the generator off. Everybody have a great day. Try to join me whenever I have power sometime. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye now. Well, I said bye now and then the thing don't come up.